morning. So I have not made a live workout for you guys in probably almost coming up on 2 weeks. I apologize. I'm just trying to get a feel, like, do you prefer workouts? I have so many workouts already. So I think I'm just going to start curating like a playlist for you each week based on those workouts that I already have. And you can go from there. You know that I do have a downloadable calendar. So if you're beginning your pregnancy journey and you're like, what do I do? I have a calendar for each trimester. It's about 4 weeks long. So you just would repeat it, or you can kind of pick and choose. It's not lengthy. It's like 4 new workouts a week. Repetitive is the best, whether you think it's boring or not. Like, that's what's going to build that. So that's there for you. I have my entire core restore programming here on a playlist already on YouTube. So that's already there. So, there's so many options to choose from, and I kind of want to start making sure, like, I'm doing these little vlogs and just kind of sharing the education with you. So yeah, if you have a preference, let me know. I don't really get a lot of feedback from y'all, so I kind of just do what serves what I feel led to do. So today I want to talk about, as I'm cutting corn off the cob, I want to share with you a little bit about labor training, preparing for your birth, the big day, D-Day. Especially when I think back to my first pregnancy, the fear I had around giving birth was quite astronomical. I had secondary birth trauma. So I was coming into my pregnancy, my first pregnancy. My best friend had passed away while she was, shortly after she had a C-section. So I had that trauma. I never processed that trauma until like 10 years after she passed. That was all stuff that I just stuffed down. So I held on to that in a lot of different ways. Definitely was not the best choice, but I didn't really know any better. So anyways, I'm able to share that more, and it's important to share because that's my story. And because of that story, that trauma, I learned a lot. I studied a lot. I read a lot to learn about the human body, especially the human body in the form of pregnancy, and how it changes and how miraculous it truly is. So without that trauma, I would have probably never gone down this road. So it's a big part of why I share what I do. So with that being said, it is important to train your body, and I am really, really passionate about sharing the training in the form of making it functional, making it fit into your day, because for me personally, I was a busy person, and then when I had my son, I was a busy first-time mom. So my husband worked in the restaurant business. He still does that. If any of you are aware of that field, you know how draining that can be, and the hours, time off doesn't really happen, long weekend hours, long nights. So, I was very much alone. And my mothering journey in the beginning, in all of them, and I was a teacher, so I only had so much time off. I worked right up until like the week before I had my son. I had planned to work right up to delivery. And the world pushes you like, oh yeah, work up. I'm going to work right up until I have this baby. But I'm so glad I took that week before I had my son. I just started my maternity leave. I only had 12 weeks. I had used, that's a whole nother issue in and of itself. But I used what I had for sick days, and then I literally took it unpaid. Anyhow, that was a busy time. And then I always had in the back of my head, okay, this doesn't last forever. How am I going to go back to work? Anyway, so back to labor training. I'm digressing here. It's so important, but it's just, number one, it's just important to understand. To understand your body. Sorry, I'm hard boiling eggs, and I just had to take care of that. It's just when you understand your body, then you know what to do. So for prepping, okay, please don't, or I won't give them to you. No, then leave them there and I'll take them for you. So it's a mental and a physical preparation. So when you understand your body, you can do those preparations. So some of that is in the form of physical. So like your physical training, you can pair it with your mental training. But it's literally it's kind of like high intensity interval training, except it's not really, you want to do more interval training, right? So that's what I focus on. So you can literally choose one movement, do it for 45 seconds, and then stand, and you can sit or you can lay down on whatever is comfortable. I always just sit or standing, you focus on your breathing in that 1 minute rest, and then you go back to that 45-second of the interval. So it could be anything you could be doing high knees. You could be doing, do you want to warm up the corn? I'm cutting some of it for supper. You could be doing squats. You could be doing, you could be walking. You could be walking at a fast pace and then stopping, or like, then slowing down your walk. You could be biking. Like there's so many different things that you could do. And I outline this all in my book. I give you a list of examples. But really doing that and pairing it with the mental, my children are getting loud now. Excuse me. They're gonna listen to me. So that's really, really important. And I actually just wrote a whole Substack post, so I'll link that below for you. It's an excerpt from my book on the whole labor training and the meditation thing. But I don't want you to get stuck in the form of like, maybe you are not active or you haven't been active for a while. Don't get stuck in that, like, I can't do that, like, that's not for me. You literally can choose very simple movements in your day. You can do them in your bedroom. If this is not your first, you can do it at the playground with your kids. You can do it in your yard. Like, you can add these simple things, even if you're taking 5 minutes of your day to say, okay, I'm going to do this 45-second, 1 minute rest on. So maybe you do like 3 or 4 rounds of this one move. That is enough. That is enough. Understanding your body is the basis of that. So understanding how to breathe through your diaphragm, how to engage your deep core and your pelvic floor. And then it's really important to strengthen your stabilizing muscles. But again, and that's why I share my workouts on YouTube, because it goes through all of that. But don't get caught up in the realm of like, that's not for me, or I can't achieve that because I'm coming from a baseline of maybe 0. You can still move, and it's going to benefit. There are 0 like negative consequences to focusing on moving your body during pregnancy. It's only going to strengthen the health of yourself, strengthen the health of your baby, and prepare you more for those labor and birth when that happens, and for the demands of motherhood. Like, it is only going to continue to strengthen you, and you can start with those 5 minutes. Okay, so I just want to share that. I will link that below. If you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, just know that you can do this. Like, you can do hard things, and regardless of where you are in your pregnancy journey, if you haven't been super active, start now. Take those 2 minutes. Literally start with 2 minutes. Start with 1 minute. When you're going to the bathroom, do 10 squats over the toilet after. Like, literally start small. You got this.